This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. Tonight I'm going to show you guys the Mezco Ultimate Godzilla. This thing is a beast. This box is huge. He's listed as 18 inches tall, but when I measured him, he's closer to 19 inches. He's like 18 and 3/4 inches tall. Here's some cool shots of him. This big, ginormous box. But as always, we didn't come here to see a box. We came here to see a monster. This thing is a monster, all right? So this thing is gorgeous. It's huge. And this video is not going to do it justice as to how ginormous this thing is. There's no like button per se. There's some sort of sensor up top here on his head, and I'm not sure if it's heat sensitive or pressure sensitive, but you just barely tap on it, and or not tap on it, I guess just stroke the top of Godzilla's head, and it activates. Awesome. So that's obviously his atomic breath. But I was about to say, I don't think there's any like rhyme or reason. Like I don't think you tap it twice and it does the breath, or you tap it 3 times and it does his roar. I think it's just sort of random. Hang on. Let's play with this thing in the dark so you guys can watch him glow. Let's see. Wow. That's super bright. Wow. God damn, that was bright. Try it without the tripod. That is super cool. So I forgot when I signed up for this. I mean, as soon as it was advertised, I signed up for it. And it's been well over a year. You know how Mezco takes their sweet time with releasing things. And he wasn't cheap. He's $450. Yeah. 450. I know, Thor, right? Thor's like, did I just hear right? Did you just say you spent 450 bones on a fucking Godzilla? I did, I know. This is pretty much my one and only Christmas present. It's gorgeous. It's huge. I am going to go on record and say this is the greatest American-made Godzilla toy of all time. I own the original Shogun Warriors Godzilla. And that's a good... And that's a great piece. But it's, you know, let's be honest, it's more about sentimentality than, you know, as far as it looks. Because that was a great Godzilla toy we had as kids. But as far as looks go, it doesn't really look anything like Godzilla. Kind of looks like a giant green monkey with a firing fist. Not talking shit about it, because I love that piece. I own that piece. But, you know, what else is a contender for an American-made Godzilla toy? This stomps all over the Aurora model. It stomps all over the Shogun Warriors Godzilla. I mean, I can't think of another great American Godzilla toy. The Super 7 stuff is fun. I love those figures. I've made videos about them. But yeah, I can't really think of another American Godzilla toy that can knock this one off the pedestal. I think this is the best one to ever been made here in America. Now, are there Japanese toys as good as this or better? Yeah. I have the X Plus gigantic sized Godzilla 1989, and it looks incredible, and it's bigger than this, and it's truer in the way it looks. It's more of an exact match to that movie. But it doesn't have lights and sounds. It doesn't roar. The SH Monster Arts giant, not giant, but the SH Monster Arts larger scaled lights and sounds Godzilla. That's an incredible toy. And yet it's only 10 inches tall, 11 inches tall, something like that. And it also roars and stomps, plays Godzilla music, lights up. This is kind of like that toy, but with less articulation and way bigger. Yeah, if I were going to compare this to a Japanese one, I would say that SH Monster Arts figure would be the closest. This just happens to be the size of like that giant 1991 Godzilla vinyl by Bandai. Sort of like in that size. But with the lights and sounds feature of the SH Monster Arts. I just pulled him out of the box 5 minutes before I started filming, so I'm just now getting to play with him as you guys are watching. I've seen a couple online reviewers of fanboys crying about the paint job. You know me, I touch up everything, and I don't see what they're really crying about. Um, yes, he is done in sort of a dark charcoal gray, damn near black. Um, and if it really bothers me, I could dry brush a few higher spots with some German gray, or a lighter gray. Uh, but that's the only complaint I've really. There's Thor. That's the only complaint I've really seen from the early reviews, is people crying about um, the paint job, how it just seems to be sort of dark and not a whole lot of paint thrown on it. I think there is enough paint thrown on it. Plus, collectors seem to forget that you got to pay for what you get. And if you're paying $450 for this already, and you want an elaborate paint job thrown on top of it, let me show you how the tail works. So Godzilla himself is a harder material. And man, I gotta get a new tripod. This tripod sucks. But his tail is like a, can you guys see that? It's like a squishier, like rubber material. And I believe there's an armature in there. I'm not 100% sure though. Like I said, I only pulled this out of the box about 10 minutes ago. But let's take the tail off so I can show you guys how that works. Okay, so so that's where the batteries are housed. He comes with 3 batteries. You unscrew the little door, you put the batteries in, you flip it to on. Yeah, you know what? There feels like there's some sort of armature, or yeah, you can move the tail. You can move it. It feels like, especially down here on the end, you can bend it and shape it, in different positions. Anyway, you take Godzilla and you plug the tail in. And you twist it until it locks in place. Then it lights up, letting you know it's good to go. This is really an impressive toy, guys. Now, I don't have any qualms about the paint. I think they did a good job. But I am handy with a paintbrush, so if any little things bug me, I will just fix them myself. But I do that with pretty much every toy or model, so it's not a big deal. But I don't think they did a bad job. This little wrists turn. Yeah, if you guys can think of a better American-made Godzilla toy, put it down in the comments. Let me know, because I'm drawing a blank, and I have damn near every Godzilla that comes out. And I can't, for the life of me, think of one that would one-up this. I'm talking about American-made Godzilla toys. Um, yeah, if you start talking Japanese Godzilla toys, that's a whole separate issue. Of course, they have better, truer Godzillas. But this is just a really nicely done, Godzilla from an American company. And I think it is the best one yet. Trying to get his mouth to light up. Wow. That's awesome. Oh man, I love Godzilla. Look at his eyes. They did a good job with the eyes. This is sort of a amalgamation of Godzillas. The more I look at it, like I can see the 1989 Godzilla in here, but he also sort of looks like the 91 Godzilla, and he also looks like the 1993 Godzilla. Like I know if you guys aren't a Godzilla fan, you're like, what the fuck's the difference, the 91, the 93? Basically, in the Heisei Godzilla series, 1989 was an incredible look for him, and that look was really liked and appreciated by the public. So they pretty much stuck with that look, but they would tweak it with each subsequent movie. They would make little changes here and there. The head would become smaller, the chest would get bigger, the thighs would get larger. But they pretty much stayed true to that look. Just little tweaks, minor tweaks here and there. And if you're a big enough Godzilla nerd like I am, then you recognize those changes in the suits. I mean, to just a non-Godzilla fan, they're all going to look alike. But if you're a hardcore kaiju dork like myself, then you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the 95 suit, or whatever. So the more I look at him, I would say that out of all the suits, it looks the most like 89, but with a few tweaks from like the other suits. Especially up here in the size up here in the head, and the more sort of cat-like ears poking out on the sides. Sort of look like 93. But yeah, I don't think he's any one specific suit. Not from any one specific Godzilla film. I think he's a amalgamation of designs. Like a greatest hits of Godzilla. But I'm telling you guys, was it worth the wait? Yep. It is big. It is heavy. The box said it weighed 19 pounds. He stands about 18 3/4 inches tall. So just about 19 inches tall. Come on, Godzilla. super glad to add him to the collection. How could I be a Godzilla fan and not get this? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't let this one pass. This will be one of those toys that people will say, oh man, I like it, but that thing costs too much. You wait until 5 years from now when you start going to comic shows and toy shows and you start seeing this thing for $800, $900. People are going to kick themselves for not getting this one. And I will, like I said, go on record saying I believe this is the greatest American-made Godzilla toy of all time. And I'm not just some Johnny on the, Johnny come lately. I've been collecting Godzilla stuff for 50 years. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. I own a lot of Godzilla. This is such an impressive piece, guys. I love this damn toy. Oh my gosh. Let me know if any of you guys pulled the trigger and bought one of these. I don't know of very many people that did. I know one other Godzilla toy collector, and he said he wanted one, but it was too steep. Then his friend brought one over and he got to play with it. And he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to get it after all. And, yeah, I love the thing. I think it's an amazing toy. I will be playing with this damn thing all night. I will have to take some cool shots of this thing outside in natural light, you know, with the sky behind him, and just have some fun taking photos. But it is Christmas Eve tonight. Me and Thor are just kicking back. We opened up our presents. And I thought I would show off the King of the Monsters to you guys. I wanted to take a second to tell everybody thank you. I've got over 900 subscribers right now, and that is amazing to me. I remember when I had 3 subscribers, not 300, 3 subscribers. Yeah, this has been a great year. I really appreciate all the awesome comments you guys leave. I appreciate the camaraderie, the friendship. A lot of you guys reach out to me, and we're friends on Facebook, or we talk, through messages and stuff. Um, I got sent some awesome presents by some subscribers that just it blew me away. I couldn't believe the generosity and the just the sheer fucking niceness of people. It sort of renews your trust in humanity. Um, I've said many different times that I don't really like people. I basically hang out with dogs and surround myself in, monsters and horror movies and science fiction, and I basically disappear from the world. Um, I don't like humans too much, but every now and then, when I poke my head out, it's nice to be reminded that there are still cool people out there, nice people. Um, I really like you guys following along. Um, it's cool to find the other monster kids. And I really appreciate you guys, honestly. I thank you guys for subscribing, for following along, for listening to yours truly ramble on about his love of monsters and my very opinionated ass. Anyway, I'm just trying to say thank you guys. So, well, I guess I don't have much more to say. So thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Um, I will be back before you know it with some more monsters. Now that Christmas and everything's died down, I can get back to building models, and there is that awesome Creature from the Black Lagoon X Plus model that my buddy Jeff sent me, and I have to start building and painting that. So that'll probably be up on the channel in the next couple weeks, so you guys can look for that. All right, my friends, hang in there. Merry Christmas, and as always, Happy Halloween.